Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 co-final pregame show. We are joined now by Greenbrier West head coach Jared Robertson. Coach, your team has gotten off to a good start in sectional play with a win over the Meadowbridge Wildcats. A little bit of a rough night in Upper Glade for the Region 3 Section 2 championship game. So you find yourself in Linside tonight, a big challenge.
Yeah, it's tough when you're having to go on the road to their home gym of the number one team in the state. But it's a team we're familiar with, a team we know what we have to do to be successful, and our kids just need to rise to the challenge.
The first game this season between the two teams in Charmco, it was a good start to the game. Things just kind of gradually got away from you right there. If you can draw on your memory a little bit and just tell us a little bit what you remember about the game and the matchup, and hopefully it doesn't bleed over. You've matched up with them so many times.
First half, we cut it back down to a few points. Then they went up a lot at halftime again. And in the third quarter, we came out, played really well. I think we cut it to less than 10 and got another stop or two and just couldn't capitalize to keep closing the gap. And then they made a bunch of threes and kind of pushed the lead back out. The second game, we tried to slow the game down early and had it, I think we were down 4 with less than 30 seconds and had the ball. Had missed some shots that could have maybe even given us the lead early, and we had a turnover and a foul right before the end of the first quarter, and they banked in a half-court shot at the buzzer, and just seemed like all the air went out of ourselves. In the second quarter, they just crushed us. So it's just a matter of us doing things that lets us be successful early, that our kids have some confidence, and we can't let them have their big runs that they like to go on.
Braden McClung had a big game in one of those games, a 31-point output. I think your best scoring output out of your big three all season was the win at Webster County. You got 21, 19, and 19 out of those three. What do you think the recipe for success will be here? Do you need that balanced scoring across the board there and rebounding, or will it be okay if maybe one of these guys has just a really special night?
Well, I don't think that any of the three can have 2 points or 4 points or something like that. All three need to have a good game. The other night at Webster County when we lost, Braden had a phenomenal game. Dale had a really good game, and Michael spent the game in foul trouble and didn't have a very good game. We can't have that. I don't know that anybody has to have in the 30s, but all three of them need to have a very good game for us to win. And beyond that, it's our role player guys. Tanner Hagee needs to get a 6 or 8. Asher came in one game and got double figures. He's going to play more now. He's going to have to score for us. Caden Parker's got to step in and make a few baskets. It's going to have to be a group effort across the board. Isaac Agee has had a nice couple of baskets, and I think it's a matter of him having confidence to go score. Those 7 are going to get the most of the minutes, and all of them are going to have to contribute.
Now, this is your 4th season as the head coach here at Greenbrier West, so this is your first time having, I guess, a senior class that you went completely through. Michael Canode has had a pretty special career, especially his junior and senior seasons here. You get into a sectional game like that, and he had 3 fouls on him with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, and he sat so much. How nice would it be from the coaching aspect to see your players be successful here and Michael be able to advance on and kind of lay claim to leading his team, leading his class to a state tournament?
Well, he's a phenomenal kid. Everybody that knows him is impressed by his demeanor, his attitude. He's a great teammate. You can go right down the line. I think back to his sophomore year that was cut short because of COVID in his household and things like that kept him from playing very much, or we'd probably be talking about 3 years of varsity contribution. But I know he was really frustrated the other night at Webster County. Definitely deserves a better ending to a really nice career than that. So, you hate to think of your last game with your seniors and someone that you've coached for 4 years like that, but you never know. That's why we're going to go play this game, and I think he's one of our seniors that's confident that we can go in here and play well.
The Mavericks are obviously a challenge. The Class A #1 team, they have been all season. They are led by Class A All-State Eli Allen. And Allen is one of the better players, I think, that I've watched in Class A basketball in the last 20 years. What kind of challenges does he present your team?
Well, I mean, he can do it all. Beyond, you can go down the line of his statistics, but he just knows the game so well and knows his team so well. You can go game to game, and he knows what they need. I mean, there's been games he scored 25 or 30 because they needed him to score. There's been games he scored 10 and had 15 assists and 15 rebounds. He just controls the game. He controls the tempo. He gets stops. I mean, I couldn't say enough about him. He's a special player, and wish him all the best. But as much as I hate it with them being family friends, it'd be sure nice to find a way for his last game to be this Thursday at James Monroe. But it's not just him. They got a lot of good players beyond him. But it definitely starts with him. He runs the engine.
So let's talk about some of those other players. They have guys like Josh Burks, Cooper Ridgway, Colin Fox. A lot of guys that can spot up around the perimeter, get shots off. They're really effective going to the basket. What makes James Monroe a harder test or more difficult to prepare for than a lot of the other teams that you see?
Well, the Fox kid has really developed into a complete scorer. Last year, he did it at times, but he was kind of streaky, and you saw at the state tournament he played really well. Probably a big confidence boost for him going into the season, but he can drive, he can shoot, he can pull up and score. Burks is kind of their third scorer. Last year it was a kid that ran to the corner and he spotted up and he just waited there and would shoot threes. But now he's not afraid to take you off the dribble. He's still a great defensive player. And honestly, the thing that going into the season, you thought maybe you could try and attack them inside or get rebounding advantage on them if you could get Allen off the boards. But their other kids, they rotate Ridgway and Jackson and Hopkins at the other two spots. All three have done a great job for what they need. They get rebounds, they make shots at the rim, they set screens. You'll see they'll put Ridgway out on our point guard some, and they're man-to-man. They're just so flexible and very talented across the board.
This is the third postseason in a row that we're going to face James Monroe in a Region 3 co-final, and maybe unfortunately for Greenbrier West, they've all happened at Lindside. What's it going to be like playing in that environment for a third time, and maybe playing with kids that have been in that environment now?
Right. Well, we have a great rivalry between our schools, sport to sport, boys and girls, and I think it's been mostly healthy. I think our kids respect each other, but it's going to be a wild, what you want in a regional game. It's why we wanted to win last week. We wanted that environment in our gym. But they're going to be waiting on us. Everybody always says, well, you beat them in regionals once, you can do it again. I'm getting so tired of hearing that. It's different season and different kids, but it'd be nice to play them in a regional in Charmco once, but that's on us for not taking care of business on our side.
That game 3 seasons ago, very inspirational, I guess, for our kids, and it shows you that on any given night things can happen. But it is also in the back of their minds. Coach Savage is not going to let them forget what happened 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know that you use that at all in your preparation one way or the other. How has your preparation been this week?
Well, Monday we had a really good practice. We added in a couple of new little things. This late in the year, I don't think you can do anything major, but we've added a couple little things to try and help us offensively and defensively. Thought Monday was a great practice. Yesterday, we took our team down to the state tournament. Had a experience as a team going down to witness our girls play for the first time in the States in a long time. And then we practiced in Charleston at Charleston Catholic's gym. They were very nice to open it up to us. And it was kind of a laid-back practice. We reviewed a little bit of our new things. We shot a lot. We scrimmaged a little bit. And it was okay. I'm not going to say it was phenomenal, but it was a different day too. And we got to go have a team meal afterwards and had a nice time together. And today we're going to be back at it and really dial in on things we need to do. And I think our kids, we've watched film, we've talked about them for a few weeks. We kind of felt like one way or the other, we either going to play them in regionals or in the state tournament. So we've had a little bit of preparation for them in the back of our mind for a while now. But it's just a matter of us, our kids just showing up to play and playing well and being ready to execute.
When you get to this point of the season, obviously your entire team is important, but do you feel a little maybe added pressure there to try to get things done for your seniors? Michael Canode, Caden Parker, Dale Boone, Matthew Thomas.
Well, it's tough. I don't like to think about it. I got a little emotional after the game at Webster the other night, thinking, hating it for our seniors that they didn't have the opportunity to go play in our regional here. But all four of them have done a lot of great things for our program. Matthew's probably the one that gets talked about the least, but he's such a high energy, great teammate kid that you look at him and just think, my gosh, next year on the bench, without him over there screaming and hollering, it'll really feel quiet on the bench. But it's four kids that could have a bright future that beyond basketball. I hope that all four look back on this season and their career here fondly, and hopefully they've learned some things along the way. It's going to help them in life. You love them, you tell them that, but until that final day comes, it's kind of hard to think about it too much.
Really kind of a mixed bag of seniors right there. All of them have a different style. Michael and Caden have been 4-year guys here in your program.
Right.
Dale has come back and been a 2-year guy. Matthew, a 2-year guy. But
right.
Matthew came from a different environment. Dale, came back here from Cincinnati. A really diverse group of seniors that you've got.
Yeah, and all four of them do a lot of different things for us. Michael's our guy around the rim. Dale's our shooter. Caden's our point guard and handles the ball, and then Matthew's our energy guy. That's a quick summary of what they bring to us. But Matthew's been a little dinged up. I hope he's going to be good to go. It's a little iffy on his wrist injury from the Meta Bridge game. But I think all four of them are excited. I think they don't like to think about it being the end, so hopefully we got one more week of this.
Coach, appreciate your time, and good luck tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks, sir.
This is Greenbrier West head coach Jared Robertson. You're watching the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 co-final pregame show. We'll be back in just a minute to speak with Greenbrier West senior forward Dale Boone.
Broyles Shrewsbury Funeral Home, located in Peterstown, West Virginia. We're proud to serve and help our community whenever difficult times arise. We are committed to the people we serve by creating a family atmosphere in the comfort of our facility. Feel free to contact us anytime at 304-753-4325. Broyles Shrewsbury Funeral Home, our family serving yours. Philip L. Shrewsbury, owner and licensee in charge.
Welcome back to the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 co-final pregame show. We're joined now by Greenbrier West senior forward Dale Boone. Dale, you've really had a breakout season this year. You're putting up points at a fantastic pace. Your three-point shooting has improved so much from your junior year to your senior year. What did you do to get yourself better in the offseason?
I just put in a lot of work shooting around, trying to hit up Coach Rob, get in the gym as much as possible, get up a lot of shots. That's about it.
So you came out early and had a really big game. You had a career game right out of the gate. At times, maybe the scoring has leveled off. You've had the big 30-point outputs, but as a team, what do you think maybe is the most important way for you guys to have success tonight against James Monroe?
Just play as a team. All of us need to score a lot, or else we can't just have one or two people scoring a lot and win.
In the Webster County win a few weeks ago at Upper Glade, the big three, as we've called them all year, you had 21, 19, and 19. And not only that, but the rest of your teammates kind of got in on the scoring a little bit. Rebound. It was just a really complete game. I think that might be the only game this season that the team as a whole has kind of fired on all cylinders like that. Is it going to take an effort like that again to beat a team like James Monroe?
Oh yeah. We can't have just we can't have just a couple people doing good. Everybody's got to do good to beat them.
And we talk about your points and we talk about the offense, but against James Monroe, defense is obviously going to be really important. Eli Allen, an all-state guard, can do a lot of things, but James Monroe has so many auxiliary players right there: Josh Burks, Colin Fox, Owen Jackson, those type of kids that can score. What kind of challenge does James Monroe present defensively?
Oh, they're a big challenge. They got plenty of shooters, plenty of people who take the hole. They got decent size. It's a tough matchup, but I think we can do it.
You're a second-year player here at Greenbrier West. You're in your senior season. You're with a group of three other seniors. You can kind of see the end of your basketball career here. You've got this Region 3 co-final. If you can win that, you could have 3 more games in Charleston. What's it feel like when the end of your senior career starts creeping on you like that?
It doesn't affect me too much. I love basketball, but I'm a huge baseball guy, so I'm just ready for baseball season to start.
So you kind of got the backup plan. You got another sport to fall back on, but when you look at the first 2 matchups this year with James Monroe, in the first game, it was a pretty tight first quarter, and they were able to hit that three-pointer, that half-court three-pointer, the first quarter buzzer. And I don't know, maybe as an analyst watching the game, it felt kind of deflating for the team. What did it feel like for you as that game kind of wore on and the score kind of got the separation there?
We played bad as a team, and our emotions are bad, body language is bad, and after that goes bad, the game's basically over.
This team has had a really up and down season. You've had 9 wins. You've had some tough losses, but your losses come to teams like Poca, Wyoming East. Do you feel like games against that quality of opponent has maybe helped prepare you for the moment that you're going to face here in Linside?
Oh no, it has definitely helped. Playing easy teams, boosts your confidence, but you don't know how to face that level of play if you haven't played that many people like that.
Now, you do have a lot of experience on the baseball field, and you have a lot of experience on the mound. How can you draw from that experience of being on the mound and the pressure being on you? How can you maybe translate that into some basketball success in the environment that you'll face in the Region 3 co-final?
The big thing with pitching and pressure, you just got to make sure it doesn't get to your head and stay consistent, confident. You just, if you get down on yourself, everything goes bad. So if you bring it over to basketball, this is about the same thing. Your shooting goes bad if you stop. Gets in your head and you can't do anything.
What are you looking forward to most in tonight's game?
Trying to get a win, cut down their nets, and go to states.
Well, Dale, we appreciate your time and wish you good luck tonight.
Thank you.
This is Greenbrier West forward Dale Boone. You're watching the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 co-final pregame show. We'll be back in a few moments to talk to Greenbrier West senior Caden Parker. Grovesman Funeral Home, located in Union, West Virginia, strives hard to serve our families and community with the best care possible before, during, and after their time of need. We are proudly family-owned and operated, and our staff is committed to serving our families, whether it's making pre-need or at-need funeral arrangements. Feel free to contact us day or night at 304-772-5335. Grovesman Funeral Home, Kenny W. Mann, owner and licensee in charge. Welcome back to the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 co-final pregame show. Mike Goddard here with Greenbrier West senior guard Caden Parker. Caden, you're coming up on the 4th Region 3 co-final in your career, 3rd straight against James Monroe. What kind of a challenge do the Mavericks present in your mind?
Well, obviously a really good team. They played some really good teams, beat a bunch of really good teams. Really good shooting team, really good all around. You know, it's going to take a pretty good game to beat those guys.
Eli Allen is obviously a talented guard. They've got a lot of other players that are capable, good shooters, able to go to the basket. What kind of a defensive challenge is it for you?
Well, we're just got to try to slow the game down. You know, don't give them too many open threes. Really good shooters and really good driving too. So we got to keep them from shooting and try to keep them from driving.
What do you take away from the two games that you've played previously this season against the Mavericks?
They like to play fast and they like to shoot. They move the ball really well to get their shooters open and try to drive and kick out. So.
And that's a really good point. In the last two seasons, in those games with James Monroe, it seems like we were able to kind of control the pace for maybe a quarter and a half or maybe down to the 2-minute mark right before halftime. But the Mavericks have been able to speed it up at times. What does that do to your team? How do you kind of cope with that, and how do you counter it?
Well, we come in with the game plan to try to slow them down, and well, they try to speed it up more since we try to slow it down. So it's a big adjustment, and they like to play fast. This is how they play. It's hard to stop that.
Speaking with Coach Robertson and some of your teammates, I think the most complete game that you guys have played this season was the win at Webster County a few weeks ago. Do you think that a balanced effort like that is what it's going to take against James Monroe, or are you really going to need maybe one of your teammates to come out and have one of those 30-point games and everybody else, in the high single digits? What's the best way for you guys to counter James Monroe's offensive attack?
It's definitely going to take more of a balanced game. The way we played against Webster, played good as a team. Everybody, shooting good. Everybody was getting involved, and that's what we need.
You and Michael are the two 4-year seniors on this basketball team. You were around when Greenbrier West had that really magical night 3 seasons ago at Linside and the overtime game to advance. What can you draw on from your 4 years of experience that will translate in tonight's game?
Well, the same strategy we had 3 years ago. We just try to slow them down, and since they like to play fast, if we slow it down, it gets them out of their rhythm, And once we started coming back more, they started, getting out of control.
How about playing in the atmosphere of Linside? It's a raucous atmosphere. This will be the 3rd straight year that this Region 3 championship has been played on their floor. I know at times you've gotten a little interactive, there with the crowd. What's it like for you?
Yeah, it's a big rivalry game. We've always been big rivals with James Monroe, and the crowd likes to get involved, and just try to go out there and have fun, take time.
You have kind of focused a lot of your game on dishing the basketball off the assist, trying to help your teammates get those scores. How big would it be for you to be able to come out tonight and put up a career night in assists on a night that perhaps you go out here and get things done in the Region 3 co-final?
Well, career night in assists would definitely be nice. That would mean that we're making shots, and that's what we're going to need.
What's been the best moment for you over your 4-year career, and how would you like for it to end?
Best over the 4 years, probably going to states sophomore year is probably the best moment. And how would I like it? Well, I obviously would like to go again, or just go out there and give it the best we got.
So you're coming up on a regional here. You get this one under your belt. You have the possibility of 3 more games. How does the finality of your senior basketball career, how does that affect you?
Well, it's been 4 years. Obviously, don't want it to end now. For the full 4 years, we've always just worked as hard as we could to get to the point for those 3 games, and that's what we're going to try to do.
your grandfather had a pretty instrumental part in this basketball program years ago. When we look at other players, Dale's father was an instrumental part in the 80s. What does it feel like kind of being a legacy player here at Greenbrier West?
Well, a lot of the players here, a lot of players, all their family, all played at Greenbrier West back in the day. Through generations. So it's just kind of like keeping a tradition.
Do you feel an added I don't know, maybe pressure to the community to go out and perform because there are so many people that are sitting in the stands and maybe at home watching or listening that they have put those tennis shoes on and they've put that uniform on and performed?
There's definitely a lot of pressure. We've always been a sports school. We've always been big in those. And
Well, Caden, we appreciate your time. We wish you good luck tonight.
Thank you.
It's Greenbrier West senior guard Caden Parker. We'll be back in just a moment on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 Co-Final pregame show. Tom Johnson, broker and owner of Coldwell Banker Stewart and Watts Real Estate, wishes the best to all the players and teams. We appreciate our clients past and present, and we have served our community for over 110 years. We have 30 agents to serve you, and we ask that you call us for any of your real estate needs. Stewart and Watts Real Estate looks forward to working with you. Welcome back to the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 Co-Final pregame show. We're joined now by Greenbrier West junior forward Tanner Hagee. Tanner, you got a big challenge you have a big challenge ahead of you tonight. Talk a little bit about the problems that the James Monroe Maverick team presents you and your teammates.
James Monroe is a very experienced team. They got a lot of good players. They can shoot the lights out. So, we got to shut them down. We got to slow the game down. So, especially Eli Allen, we got to slow him down.
You mentioned Allen, and he's a Class A first-team All-State player. He is a really talented basketball player. They have so many people that they can rely on other than Allen. What kind of a challenge does that present when you know that Allen's such a threat, but all these other guys are capable scorers?
Yeah, they're all capable scorers. You got Burks, who he's shot really well against us at home, and I think Fox has been the leading scorer against us both times. So having them two also deal with, and then Allen, it's really hard. But I think if we can close out on the shooters and make them drive a little bit more, and try to get them in foul trouble a little bit, we'll be all right.
I think as the season has progressed for you, your three-point shooting has progressed as well. You've knocked down 22 threes this season. How big of a threat do you think that you can be? What can you add to the Greenbrier West scoring punch here tonight?
I definitely can be a little bit of a threat. If I get on fire and keep shooting, keep knocking down, keep finding open shots, and drive to the basket. Here recently I started getting more aggressive. So if I can knock down shots, I'll be all right.
So your older brother was a member of this team just a couple years ago, and kind of a different style. He was really a guy that got the ball out on the wing and really slashed to the basket. You've been more of a perimeter shooter. You shoot from the three-point line. You step inside and kind of shoot those mid-range jumpers. But I've also seen some flashes in the last couple of weeks where you really take it to the basket strong. What do you feel is the best aspect of your game?
I definitely, growing up, I've tried to copy my brother. Everything I've learned is basically from him. But at the same time, I kind of grew away from the driving that he has, and I'm more on the shooting. He was a great driver, awesome spin move, but I kind of developed more of a three-point shot than he did. I'm a little quicker than he is, so, yeah.
So the two games this season that you played with James Monroe kind of deflated the Cavaliers going into the second quarter. You're going to be playing these guys on their home floor or home court. Obviously, runs are a big part of the game. If they get off to a big run, how can you and your teammates kind of stay settled right there and keep yourselves within the parameters of the ball game?
Like I said earlier, we got to slow them down a little bit. They're a very fast-paced team. They would give AA, AAA teams a run for their money. but that's how they play basketball. That's how they was coached. If they keep it going, they outrun us. I mean, they're quicker than us. So, I mean, I feel like if we can definitely slow the ball game down a little bit and make them set up their offense, make them set up their defense, well, I mean, we can definitely.
So one of the things about slowing a team down is the importance of you knocking down shots and making your shots it's magnified. At times this season, you guys have had things clicking. I thought that the win at Webster County was the best overall performance amongst you and your teammates. How important is it going to be tonight in your mind for the Cavaliers to knock down shots and maybe more importantly to pull down offensive rebounds and get second and third opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely got your rebounds. A big hurt in us with Webster in the sectional championship was Cano was got in really bad foul trouble, and we couldn't get rebounds. I mean, they out rebounded us a lot, and we definitely got knocked down shots. I think if we get the rhythm in it, we'll get nice and hype, and we'll get the smooth into it, and we'll definitely knock down shots. And like I said, we gotta get rebounds. We gotta get all of us need to rebound, not just one person. So, if we can do those two things, I think we'll be all right.
And in the matchups over the last two seasons, it seems like the game plan that you're talking about has worked effectively for almost a half, and then there'll be a 2-minute stretch or so where they can really get out and get up and down the floor and score, and you look and something that may be a 6-point deficit has climbed to 18 points or something. How important it's going to be for the Cavaliers to weather runs like that and maybe stop those runs and keep some points generated on your side.
Well, I mean, it's definitely like what you said earlier. After they hit the half-court buzzer beater, we all just kind of like, oh gosh. And I think that's what happened to us a lot of times is, I mean, they'll have runs where they score 3 times in a row and we just kind of give up. And if we don't do that, and if we keep our heads up a little bit and we keep encouraging each other, I think, it'll fall into place.
You're a junior. You're going to have an opportunity again next year, but you've got some senior teammates that you've spent, some of them several seasons with. But you're getting down to the end of basketball season. It's winding down here. There's only a possibility of 4 games left. You've got Michael, Dale, Caden, and Matthew. Do you feel a sense of importance to go out there and perform on their behalf so they can extend their careers?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love all these guys, and, everything I do this year is for them. I want them to have a great season this year. I try my best for them because I know they don't want to go down like this. So, yeah, I just play my heart for them. And
you have any final thoughts, any other things that you think about when you think about playing James Monroe?
Other than just stopping their shooters, and we got to get them to drive a lot, and we got to get them to get aggravated with each other. So, because James Monroe's really good about that. If they start missing shots, they'll start pointing fingers. They did that a lot when we played them there. But other than that, that's all I got.
Tanner, appreciate your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
This is Greenbrier West junior guard Tanner Hagee. We'll be back in just a few moments with the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 Co-Final pregame show.
Hi, I'm Janet Niehawk with S.J. Niehawk Lumber, your home solution for 75 years. Whether your project's small or large, we can help fill your needs. Good luck to the athletes and coaching staff of Greenbrier East Spartans for the year 2022-23. Go Spartans!
Alcova Mortgage is here for good. We are locally owned, value great communication, and are committed to our Greenbrier County community. Alcova Mortgage in Lewisburg, 304-645-2478, or visit lewisburglender.com. For your mortgage lending needs, Alcova Mortgage, NMLS ID 118-4517, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, Equal Housing Lender. Terms and conditions apply. All loans subject to credit approval. That's Alcova Mortgage in Lewisburg. Welcome back to the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 Co-Final pregame show. Mike Goddard here with Greenbrier West junior forward Braden McClung. And Braden, You've got a tough matchup here tonight in the James Monroe Mavericks. Earlier this season, you were able to put up 31 points in one of those matchups against the Mavericks, and you're coming off a 33-point output in the sectional championship against Webster County. Scoring output, obviously a big thing in this game. How are you going to go about things when the game starts? You let things come to you? Do you kind of take it upon yourself that I've got to go out here and really put some points on the board?
Well, I mean, I think getting to the rim is going to be a big factor in this game, and I think if we're going to beat them, we got to score quick, and we just got every time they score, we have to score definitely.
I think the Cavaliers' best win this season was the win at Webster County in the regular season. You had 21 points, I believe. Michael and Dale both with 19 points each. So scoring was really balanced. Rebounding was really balanced. We've kind of had trouble maybe finding that balance in all the games this season. Very close in the sectional against Webster County, but Michael ended up getting in a little bit of foul trouble, so it pulled him off the floor. How important is it for what we call the big three to come out and all score in double digits and maybe pull down double-digit rebounds?
Well, to have three people in your starting lineup scored 15-plus points, I think that's a huge factor. And I think rebounding, Michael does a really good job rebounding. I think if we're going to be James Monroe, we had to have a lot of rebounds. We had to rebound every shot. Them getting second chance points is a reason why they've been beating us really bad the last couple of times. So.
You're one of the team leaders defensively for the Cavaliers. Deflections, steals. You're not always matched up one-on-one with Eli Allen, but the Mavericks have a plethora of shooters, Colin Fox, Josh Burks. They really like to get out on the perimeter and shoot the three. What kind of pressure does that put on you defensively?
Well, to try to stop a team that every one of them can shoot is very hard. And obviously, last couple of times we played them, we haven't stopped them. But I think if we can at least stop one of them, or at least contain one or two of them, I think that's going to help us a lot too. Just stopping at least one of them. But.
So far this season, Cavaliers sitting on a 9-15 record. I know that's a little bit disappointing for you, but the regular season really is just a preparation for sectional and regional play. How do you feel like the schedule prepared you for tonight's matchup?
Well, playing people like Poco, Wyoming East, good teams like that, I think that's definitely going to prepare us, and getting a different outlook on different teams, I think that's going to help us a lot, seeing different play styles. So I think coming up to it, playing all them good teams, I think that's going to help us a lot in this championship.
So you were a pretty significant player last year on the 2022 team. Obviously, you've been a full-time starter here in 2023. You've had numerous matchups now with James Monroe, and I kind of like to watch players and how they interact from one team to the other. Obviously, everybody knows that Eli Allen is an all-state player. I've watched him in matchups with you, especially times that you've hit the floor or things like that, and he's extended an arm out to you and helped you up, and I just kind of see a mutual respect, like players recognize players. How do you feel about that relationship with players on the opposing teams?
Oh, yeah, I think definitely. I think having a good sportsmanship to everybody is definitely a must in every game, but I think seeing a player like Eli Allen, definitely, like how good he is, I think it's definitely fun to watch him, especially to play against him, but yeah, it's having a good relationship with everybody. I mean, especially your opponents. I think that's really good too, having that.
Now, you were a freshman a couple seasons ago when the Cavaliers pulled off that. It was really one of the all-time great Greenbrier West wins. But as a freshman and a JV player, and just watching that, and I know your brother was big part of that. What do you remember about that? What was the excitement like, and what would it be like if you could go down there and duplicate that?
Oh yeah, just watching it from the crowd, because I wasn't on varsity at that time, but just watching from the crowd, that was just an awesome experience, and just watching that, so being a part of it, I couldn't even imagine. I know that'd be the best feeling ever. So hoping to have that too.
Now, if you were to go down there and James Monroe pulls out the win, at home. You know, how do you, I guess, kind of moderate that experience? How will you choose to maybe view it and maybe try to grow from it going into next season?
Well, I mean, if we would go down there and lose, I think we got to learn from it. I mean, if we lose another regional championship, obviously we're doing something wrong if we would lose. But I think getting players ready for next year and just letting them go in on a big game like that, getting that experience, and hopefully that will help us grow for next year too. So.
What's been the biggest thing that you've taken away from this junior season?
I think the biggest thing would probably like the relationship with everybody on the team, just loving everybody on the team, like that brotherhood, everything. I think that's definitely a big part of this year that I've taken up from it. So.
Braden, thanks for your time. That was Greenbrier West junior forward Braden McClung. This has been the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 Co-Final pregame show.
The next time you find yourself stuck, broken down, or stranded, call Steve's Towing. Serving eastern and western Greenbrier counties and surrounding areas, he won't charge an arm and a leg. All he wants is a tow. Providing rollback service for light and medium duty vehicles, as well as lockout service and jump starts. Call 304-661-5255. Steve Fields, owner and operator.
Welcome back to the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 Co-Final pregame show. We're joined now by Greenbrier West Senior Center Michael Canode. Michael, coming up on your final region championship co-final, if you will. 3 straight years now against James Monroe. Limited success right there, and not really great results this season in the during the regular season. But how much do you look forward to the challenge of playing the Class A #1 team?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a challenge, and I look forward to it. I think it'll be a lot closer than the first 2 times. I think we got a better shot this time, having played them a lot. So hopefully it plays out the way we want it to.
In the matchups this year, 8 points for you in one game, 9 points in another. You did have a 13 rebound game and another in which you had 9 rebounds. Cavaliers are really going to depend on your scoring. What do you think that you could do differently in this third matchup to boost your point production but keep your rebounds at a high level?
Make my moves faster because they're collapsing a lot when I get the ball. So if I want to score more, I'm going to have to be faster around the basket.
Now, everyone will remember 3 seasons ago, your first matchup with James Monroe, the overtime win down there in the Region 3 Co-Final. You were a young player at that point, didn't play a lot your sophomore season, but how exciting was that for you to go into a raucous atmosphere like there was at Linside and be a part of that really emotional and special win for Greenbrier West?
Oh, I mean, it was an amazing experience. There was nothing quite like winning that after losing to them twice already and then being ranked like they was. It's just nothing compares to it.
It's kind of like catching a little magic in a bottle, and on paper it would seem like the odds may be stacked against you here tonight, but what's your preparation been like? Because I've always equated success in any sport to your preparation. So what's your preparation been like in the rest of your team?
Well, I mean, we've been working hard in practice, a lot of scrimmaging, a lot of working on little things that we got to get right.
James Monroe has a really dynamic player in Eli Allen. He's a Class A first-team All-Stater. What's a challenge like when you face somebody like an Eli Allen, especially when you're not really matched up with him throughout the game defensively, but you may have your moments where you two come face-to-face?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he gets his team involved a lot. So unless he's got, like, wide open, he's probably going to pass it to somebody that's open. He tries to create a lot. So you just got to watch for that.
What would be the key for you and the Cavaliers to be able to pull off what you would call an upset here?
Well, we got to fight hard, get every loose ball, and we got to slow them down because they play well fast. Haven't really seen them play well slow.
Now, you've been a 4-year player here at Greenbrier West, part of, I think, 52 wins in your career. Postseason success, you've had a state tournament. You're down here to the final moments, your Region 3 Co-Final. If you can win here, 3 more games possible. What's it feel like to be a Cavalier and to kind of see the end of your career right in front of you here?
I mean, I've had fun in my career. I mean, I'd like to go on longer, so hopefully we can win. It's just been an overall great time for me.
Michael, appreciate your time. You're watching the Greenbrier Valley Channel Region 3 Co-Final pregame show. In 1949, founder Jack K. Brown was passionate about building and was very demanding that quality and craftsmanship be the hallmark of his company. Since 1981, this passion has been passed down to the current owners, Don and Janet Turner, Jack's son-in-law and daughter, who ensure that the founder's commitment to excellence is paramount in all facets of a construction project. The third generation is now also involved in the company. Don and Janet's 3 sons bring their specialties to the company by providing architectural, legal, and project management expertise to customers, thus ensuring that the passion for detail, craftsmanship, and quality will continue. Regarded as one of the area's foremost contractors, Brown Construction Incorporated is a licensed general contractor based in the beautiful Greenbrier Valley in historic Lewisburg, West Virginia. Please visit our website, which illustrates our diverse experience over the past 60 years. That's brownconstructionco.com, brownconstructionco.com.
When it comes to business, we all have areas of specialty, but there are times when we need guidance. We need someone to come along and show us the most creative and environmentally safe way to navigate our engineering challenges. That's where we come in. CEC stands for Civil and Environmental Consultants. You show us the problem, we'll provide you with the solution. Visit wearecec.com. Big firm capabilities, small firm culture.
And welcome.
Hello, everybody. We are here.
Game here tonight.
Coach Matt Sands,
Monroe
coach for the
are set to host
Mavericks.
Greenbrier West
Cavaliers
Cavaliers
on in the regional championship tonight.
Showdown.
The Greenbrier
2 years
West
ago,
Cavaliers. Hey,
Greenbrier
Coach, how are
West
you?
Cavaliers
I'm
beat
good. How are you?
Monroe
I'm
in
good.
this
How was
game.
this week of practice?
That
getting ready for
marks
this
the
game?
last time.
It was actually
Monroe lost
it was
to
an excellent week of
18,
practice.
and the last time they lost.
Sometimes when you
on
get
this
these,
court.
and
here we are
one game a week
tonight.
deals, it's hard to keep
Monroe
them focused. And
still
I
wanting to
get
play
that.
back
Sometimes
that
it's hard
loss,
for us to stay
and
focused.
Greenbrier West wanted
But
to come
this
here
week,
and repeat
they
it.
came in Monday.
How are you guys
right after school,
Good,
ready to
man.
roll.
Ready
and,
for this
they've
game.
been focused all
I
week.
mean,
It's been
I'm
one of our better
not
weeks
like
of
the
practice.
boys, but
Elephant in the room,
Just
we'll get it out of the
amped up
way.
for
Of course,
this game,
this
ready
is the
for this
team
game to get
that
started.
came in and won the regional game 2
Let's
years ago.
start
Has
here
that played in?
talking
Is that
about
still
James
something that's
Monroe's
thought about
season.
by the team?
We will get in both teams as we
at
go.
times.
James
And
Monroe's
I think it's
season
more of
basically boiled down
it's been a
to
motivational factor.
at the beginning. They went on
and
a long
not
winning
just this
streak,
season,
lost 2
but
games
over
in
the
a
past
row
2
to
seasons. And
quadruple and
so
triple A
so to me, it's been more
opponents,
motivation
Woodrow
than
Wilson
it has
and Shady Spring. Those were
distraction.
close games.
And so
Then one out
because
the
it
rest
could
of
be
the
used
season,
as a
including
distraction
2
where
games
they
against
go try to be
Bluefield,
over the top and
one
try
of
to
which was here, and they were number
it's just more
one.
of
Double A
we're not going to let it happen
that
again type
James
deal.
Monroe has said
And
number
that's
one
all you can
single
ask
A
for
for
from
most
that.
of the season has been an
Seen
overwhelming
West a couple
favorite in
times
most
already
games
this season. Do you
play.
expect anything new out of
None
them?
of that matters.
Coach Roberts is a
tonight.
good coach. He does
None
a
of
good
that
job.
matters.
And
Unless you win
he's always
tonight.
going to throw something
All
different
records
at
out
you.
of the
You never
way,
know where
everything
it's
like
going to
that.
come
I mean,
from.
you also
And
you
so
gotta think,
we
start
don't
of the
we
season,
prepared for a lot of
they didn't
stuff
have
tonight.
some of their starters.
And so
because football
we'll see
was
where that
still
comes
getting
from.
done with, and they didn't have their practices in, so these key
Did you
role
learn
players that
anything
we
last
talked about
year
all season
from your
long
state
stepped up
championship run?
and got that winning
don't
streak
get ahead
going.
of ourselves. Anything you do differently this year? If
Talk
you
about James
get
Monroe
up to the state
players, of course, you
championship
have
now, or
to
the state
start
tournament?
I'll tell you what I told the boys. I'll talk to you tomorrow after the game. But we did learn a lot. And not just for a state tournament run, just in general.
And steals per game.
That was the first time that this group of boys and us coaches have been on that
assists
page.
per game now.
And so, we learned a lot. We were able to bring back, not just for games, but for our practices and different things we can do.
It's not
I
that.
won't say everything we learned, but
Steals,
you're
blocks.
definitely going to learn something from that.
The kid can do it all.
Hopefully the boys can take
He's
care of business tonight.
One of a kind talent that
we
Monroe
can see what
County hasn't
happens
seen
from
in
there.
a long time.
We saw a pretty heavy.
And the great thing about this team is, if he's not there, do you really miss him? I mean, you miss him, but do you miss him that much?
Well, I mean, you're talking about Eli Allen.
We have 3 different
Not
types
just
of
what he
presses
does
we
on the
run.
court, but off the court too.
Some of them look
you watch
the same
and you see
depending on who
pictures
we're
of him
playing.
picking up trash at away games,
But
stuff like that. You can't coach
we're going to
that
start
stuff.
off in one of them.
That's just inbred in him,
and we're going to
and
try
who he is.
to see how that goes and go from there because
mark before
everybody
tip-off,
knows
you're
it's
gonna
not a
hear
secret.
some music in the
It's
background
not
as the
something
teams
that we're
come
giving up
off.
that we like to speak
They're
up
going to
again.
start to warm up just off
so
to our
that'll be our
side.
goal, and we have 2 or 3
Now,
different ways
you
we're
have
going
to
to try
also
to do
look
that.
at the other members
and,
of
so
the
we'll
Big
start
Three,
in one
as we
of
call
them.
them,
If it's not
Colin
working,
Fox and Josh
we can
Burks,
flip flop to the other
seniors
one
who have
and go
grown
from
into
there.
that
But
senior
if it's
role
working,
this year and have
if
led
something's
to
working,
that
I come from old
expanded
school where if it's
scoring
working,
that the Mavericks have been
why
able
would
to
you
do,
try to fix
said they can
it?
spread
And
it
so,
around. So
we're
if
going to
one's
start
not
with
going,
one. If
the
it's
other one
working, you
can,
probably
and
see
they
us
can
get out
open
of it.
space for each other. Beyond that, you
Speaking
have
of the press, how
in
much
his
do you guys work on
rookie campaign, senior
Because,
Juan
I
Hopkins,
mean,
who has found a
like
starting
we
spot
talked about
on this
the,
team at center. You
over
have Cooper
TV.
Ridgway, the only
When that ball's
junior
in the
who
corner,
starts along with this
they're
team,
like
and also
searching
senior
one.
Owen Jackson, who serves
You know,
as the sixth man off of the bench.
last
Now,
year,
Owen Jackson, though he doesn't have
we put
as
in
many minutes as
the
some of the
press
starters. When
that
you
we're
look at
running
per
now,
32,
and
they're right
we
up there
worked
with
on
him.
it
You're talking
probably
per 32
45
minutes,
minutes
he
a day.
has 15 points,
We never
4
ran.
assists,
Except
I believe
just here and
6,
there.
7 rebounds per game.
But we didn't need
so
to
he's
because
able to be
once
right
again, what
there
we were doing was
with
work.
those guys when you have to bring him in.
And this year from the get-go, we decided
no
that
doubt.
we were going to
And
put
I
in a
mean,
press, and we did.
like
and
you
we worked
said,
a lot on it.
Those three,
Probably 30
big
minutes a
three.
day.
It's
About
not just
halfway
the
through
big
the
three
season, we
thing.
were playing
It's,
Clay
like I
Patel
said,
and Tuck
Juan Hopkins.
up at
we
Tyler
was kind of
Consolidated.
wondering who would fill
we
in the
changed
Cameron Thomas
everything
role
on our press
from
that
last
we've been
year's
doing
team
up
to
there.
this year, and Juan Hopkins
and we
stepped into that
completely
role
went
and
to a
done
different type of press.
very, very well.
Not
and
that
then you
it was
have
wasted
to replace
because
an
there's
elite
concepts
scorer
that are
like
good
Shad
for any type of
Savage.
defense.
You
But,
don't have to
and
replace
so
it with
now
one
we're
person.
more of a
Colin Fox,
man-to-man with
Josh
help,
Burks,
back
Eli
track,
Allen,
whatever you want to
Owen
call it,
Jackson.
you know.
Throw all 4 of them in
defense.
there.
On
And,
top of those 5 seniors
we
we
learned a
just
lot from
mentioned,
it.
we'd
We won
also
both
like
games
to
at
talk
Arkansas,
about a few
but we
more
learned a lot.
seniors
That was
here on
probably
this
our
team.
biggest
Braxton
learning lesson of the
Charlton,
year.
Evan
And
Hunter,
since then, to
anything
answer the
you know.
question,
Now,
we
those 4
go
don't
30
get
to
started
45
don't
minutes
get
a
as
day.
much playing time as the
Whether
others,
it's-
but you're talking
whether it's
about
full
an
working on
8
it
deep
or
senior
just
class
working
who's
on
able to come
concepts.
in and practice against each other every day, and that goes a long way to be
You,
prepared for these games.
mentioned
And we
last
talked
year's
about it
team
the
there.
other day
What do
when
you
we
think
were able to have a few
biggest
minutes
difference
with the
between
team,
this
but
year's teams?
being able to come in
offense.
here with whatever
It's more spread
talent,
out.
you know, talented players
and
who
not
can
that last
accept
year's
their
bad,
roles
obviously.
and work towards
I mean,
common
it turned out
goals.
pretty good
One
for
of the
us.
things that's made this team
But, you know, at times,
Exactly right. And I mean,
Shad and Eli
not to
would take
mention
over games in their score.
just that, but
which worked
also
great. You know,
those
I'm
three
not fussing about last
start
year
on
at all.
any team.
You know,
in the
sometimes Cameron
state
would come up with
in
a big
single
game, but it
A.
wasn't
I
every
feel like
sometimes
myself.
Colin would come
So
up, but it wasn't every, you know.
you get that type
And
of
so,
talent that
this
you
year
can come in
it's-
and
it's
practice
more
against
spread out.
every single
And
day.
we can
It's going to make
refuel
you 10
points
times
from
better.
A lot of different places.
Furthermore, we don't know,
And to me,
you know,
I think
after
it even
tonight's game,
makes it even more
it's
difficult.
it's a whole new world out there
Because
once they go to Charleston.
you're
It'll
not
be
looking
new
at one
competition,
player or two
and
players.
you never
You
know
know,
when,
it's
when a team may present
pick your
James with a
poison.
matchup
You know,
problem.
who are you going to try to
And
stop?
you know, you may pull
Okay,
somebody
try
off
to
that
slow down
bench
here.
that happens to have the
Which,
sweet
you know, it's
spot
hard to do,
against that
but
opposing
try to
team.
slow him down because you know, we've got a couple more that are just going to
So-
dagger you to death. So
the fact that
you know,
they've
to
been
me,
able to
the
spread the score
biggest
around so
difference
much
this year
makes
was
it
on
so
the
dangerous
offensive
because
end.
you can
And I
have
don't
any
speak
given
offensive.
player can have a bad night.
On the
And it's
offensive
gonna hurt
end,
you.
it's definitely a different
Let's
type
look at their opponents here for the night, the Cavaliers, a team that has well known to James Monroe. They've played each other multiple times, I believe 3 times every season over the past 3 seasons, and they are led by
and it's more
Jared
because
Robertson,
of the history.
who has 16 years of experience coaching at Greenbrier West High School.
Just to be
several
honest,
of those as the head coach, and he's going to come in here with a team led by Braden McClung.
To take care of him like he did this year and even once last year,
we also have
that's
Tanner Heggie, Caden Parker,
it's been
Dale
fun.
Boone,
And to me,
big center Michael
there's been a lot
These
of
are guys
big things that
that we
happened
have
this year
seen
that I've enjoyed. But
for years,
just
and
off the
along
top
with
of
some
my
of the
head,
other
those
guys
two
who have left,
the two that have been
other
the most fun
McClungs
for
and
me.
Pecks who have come
I
through.
could probably answer
But
this one, but
this
which
is
one
not
was
a
more sweeter,
team
the
devoid
way
of any type of talent that reflects the 8-2
I mean, that's
record
easy.
they come in here with.
And it's
However,
because of
they're
the
gonna
sport
have
we have.
to
You know, the people you'll have
come and
listening
earn
right
this
now,
trip
the
if
people
they
that come to the
wanna win.
games.
Exactly right. I mean,
you know, the support in Monroe County is awesome.
First off,
Like,
with a kid like Braden
for a
McClung,
small community that
kid
we
can score
have,
from anywhere on the court.
It's amazing.
He can drive the
support
paint,
we have.
shoot
And
your layup.
So to me,
shoot from the
that
outside.
it would be
I
hard
mean,
to top.
Fill your Gatorade cooler
going
up.
back to that,
while shooting a three.
How much did it grow?
Kid's an
from
athlete. For sure.
Sectionals
Well, yeah,
last
they
year,
didn't get on the bus to come down here to
regionals,
lose. I mean,
and
they didn't
then
make the
the
trip to
state
come down
one.
here to go
You know,
over the nail.
what was cool was last year is
you got to be
you know,
ready.
you had
You can't sleep
the
on
sectionals
any
at Greater Beckley, or you know, against Greater Beckley, but it was at Bluefield
And
State.
another thing is for
And the gym
Michael
was packed.
Canode, you
But
don't
you
see
weren't
a
sure
lot
how
of
many
big
people were there
centers
because it's
in
different type of
single
gym.
A
You know, I
basketball.
don't know how many people fit in our gym. You know, we didn't know.
So
But it was
his
packed
height
out.
could
And so I was like,
provide
I wonder what
a
region is going to be like.
challenge
Well, we
for
come
us
back here, and I
tonight.
mean, there's not even
He's a
standing
different
room.
type of
Like, it was
player
just
than what
completely.
they've seen.
And I'm like, man,
that
nothing
length
to beat
that
that. Well,
he
then you go to
has
states,
presents some problems
and
for the
80%
Mavericks
of the
here
gym is
tonight.
filled
Now,
with
they've
burp.
played twice this season.
You know, I mean, it was
Monroe
just amazing.
had a large
And
victory
so,
in one and a much closer victory in
you know,
another. So you just don't
you know,
know
winning helps.
what two teams
I
are
know
going to be
that.
on this
You know,
court
I'm not.
tonight for this game.
I'm not the
Both teams are
smartest
gonna
guy,
end
but
up with
I
this
get it. Winning
Charleston
does
on the
help.
line. Nobody's going to lay down.
No,
The
exactly
support
right.
that
I mean,
the
you got
community gives,
seniors
like I said, it's just
possibly
it's
playing their last game for
think that
both
filters
teams.
down with
So
probably
those seniors are definitely going to come out, show out, and give everything they got.
Yeah, no secret.
They are.
Fast-paced,
and which is awesome.
turnover.
But one day they'll
driven
look back and
basketball.
understand when we brag on them about that stuff. Because we brag on them about off the court stuff.
Can slow them down, make them play in a half-court game instead
and
of running
so
off 8 or 10 or 12
one day they'll
points
look back and
really quick on
understand where we
turnover.
come from on that.
I
But
said before the
to
game,
answer your question,
and I know it's way out left field, but you don't get any prizes for taking 5 timeouts into halftime. Why not burn up those timeouts and break up the rhythm? You know, you've got fouls to give. James Rowe steals the ball, foul away from the ball.
Probably 7 or 8 games.
Make them inbounds,
you know, and it's
make them inbounds and pass. That's one
it's
sure way to
exciting.
stop
You know, as a high school athlete, I got to come down to Charleston
make them score
twice in
from the half.
basketball.
Sure enough, they shoot well enough. James Rowe shoots
you know,
fine. The field goal
it's an exciting
percentage
time
is
for these
fine.
kids, and you know,
But
you know, if we're blessed to be able to win
you just
tonight,
look at off the layups,
it's
it's
memories
much
we'll have for a
higher.
lifetime.
So why not knock them back and make them play in their offense that's going to generate a 50-55% field goal percentage as opposed to the one that's going to generate a 90-95% field goal percentage. You know, you can do that for a matter of half a quarter or a quarter maybe, you know, and you can keep that lead from going from 4 or 5 or 6 points, James Monroe lead, to all of a sudden you turn your head and they're up by 12 or 14. You know, you can keep them under that double-digit lead and remain competitive for as long as you can. Maybe you get somebody from James Monroe in foul trouble, move on from there. But I don't see the point in just in letting James Monroe fast break, steal, defensively oriented offense to take you out of your game plan. And next thing you know, you're forced to play in their head. You know, you're forced to play the game that they want you to play.
Well, and I mean, the thing of it is also what Greenbrier West could throw at you is they could play a little bit of stall ball. I mean, no shot clock in high school basketball, so you get it across half court and play stall ball.
Yeah.
You could definitely winter the clock down quite a bit.
That is a strategy we've seen play out before. It just haven't seen it lately, but Coach Wayne Ryan for Summers County deployed it against the James Monroe ladies back in 2003 on their trip to the state tournament. Now, James Monroe was able to come out and eventually win that game, but he was able to burn off most of the first half and go in with a score, I believe it was 4-2 in that game.
I mean, you don't see it often, but I do recall this past season, and I think it was in Oklahoma. There's no shot clock. The final was 4-2. When have you ever heard of a high school basketball game being 4-2? Both them coaches, I guess, had the same strategy as play stall ball and win it at the end, I guess.
Well, a potential payoff for West if they do that. You know, James Monroe, if they're not running, they're not happy. You know, you take them, you add a little frustration in there. Even though it's a mature team and they should be able to see this coming, I'm sure Coach Savage will pull them aside, burn a timeout if he has to say, hey, look, this is what they're doing. Don't let it get in your heads. But yet, when you're out there, it would.
Oh, yeah.
You know, or it could. I said it could.
James Monroe would be able to attempt to mitigate that some by putting pressure on the ball and making them move it around and try to get in passing lanes. That would be the answer you would want to come back with from there. But we have seen it happen before.
Well, and I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, there's one other player for West we didn't talk about was Ashton Barclay. I mean, that's another tall center. Like I said before, you don't see many tall centers in single A basketball. West has 2.
And playing more of a traditional center
big
role.
Man, yeah.
Now, James Monroe, as you said, they're going to look to get out, put pressure on the ball, and score off of turnovers. They're hard enough to defend in the half court when they don't do that, but when they do turn you over, they can score a bunch, and it leads to the long run. So as you said, Greenbrier West is going to have to find ways to keep that from happening.
I think anything you can do to stop that, it usually seems to happen about going towards the middle to second part of the first quarter and first part of the second quarter, and it seems to slack off going into the second half because by then they've usually built up a 14, 16, 18, 30-point lead. Anything you can do, I don't know, I mean, it sounds ridiculous to say it, but yeah, foul away from the ball, man. When they steal the ball, grab the next guy closest to you and let him know you love him.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a fine point you raised. When you come in and play a team like this, defending state champions, #1 in the state, in their house, you know, you have to come up with something new that you haven't tried before. And that's, sometimes that is an idea that sounds a little crazy when you say it, but it's what you have to go with.
Yeah, I mean, especially just like we talked about with the girls. Boys, undefeated at home. Haven't lost here in the jungle. It's a whole different animal when you have to come from your school and play at the home court of the #1 team in the state, single A. I would say Coach Jared Robertson probably had 3, possibly 4 real good days of practice this week. If I wasn't a betting man, I'd say they probably practiced on a Saturday.
Now, of course, the setup of the West Virginia tournament right now is that 2 teams will advance out of each region, so the loser of the sectional championship game plays a winner of a sectional championship game and vice versa. They switch off, and the 2 winners of those games advance. So how do you think the difference is between James Monroe having come off of a victory versus Greenbrier West having to have come off of a loss? How does your mindset change between those 2?
Well, and I'm going to tell you, not just a loss, but a close loss, because they were in the game for most of the part, and then the fourth quarter it kind of slipped away from them. But I don't know. I think being a high school player, you put that in the back of your mind. You know you at least have one more game that you get to play. Trip to Charleston on the line. You're not going to see either team lie down.
Yeah, I think you could use that as a motivator and just have the feeling, well, we got that one out of the way. Now we can play our game without the kind of nerves that you might have when you haven't lost yet.
Going back to the West loss there, it was a close loss, a low-scoring loss. Low scoring for them. I think that they would be happy to have a low-scoring, close game here. I think that they would like to be within about 3 or 5 points in the mid-40s with 2 minutes left. I think they would be happy with their position there, because if they are in the mid-40s and only behind by 3 or 5 or 7 points, then their game plans work.
Well, and what we ain't talked about is you have 2 teams on the court right now that have state experience. I mean, Greenbrier West 2 years ago, James Monroe last year. So these 2 teams are definitely not unfamiliar with regional championships.
That's absolutely true. You have 2 talented teams here, 2 teams who are well coached with coaches who have been to the state tournament and know what you have to do to get there. So, you just said, this is expected to be a good game, and it's anybody's match tonight. But just about 6 minutes to go until game time. Guys, if you were Greenbrier West tonight coming into this game, what would be your strategy?
Stop Eli Allen. If you stop Eli Allen.
Court line, any success they have there is going to be crucial for them being competitive in this ball game.
And my advice would be a little bit less tangible, but don't let this environment get to you and withstand the first few minutes of this game. So if you can't see this yet because you're looking at us, but this place is starting to get packed. The lower level is nearly full. The upper level is starting to fill up behind the camera, a little bit on the side behind us. But this is going to be a loud crowd. There's a lot of Mavericks here, of course. There's a lot of Cavaliers in this crowd, too.
And not just that. There's a lot of diversity in the crowd. I've seen some Narrows people come in, some Princeton people come in.
So
you got 4 minutes and 40 seconds
take on in the regional
till
championship
tip-off.
tonight.
the
Greenbrier West
get your
Cavaliers.
popcorn, everything,
Coach,
get ready because
I'm good.
you're
How are
about
you?
to see a show.
Good. It's definitely a big game. A lot of people are here to watch us, but don't let that
it was an
and play
excellent
the
week of
number one
practice.
team in the state.
Sometimes when
Get
you
in
get
your
these,
head, you get in here, you have to
one
withstand
game
the
a
first
week
few minutes,
it's
keep
hard
them
to keep
close,
them
and then
focused.
it can be a ball game.
I get that. Sometimes it's hard for us to stay
Now,
focused.
James Monroe.
But
Yeah,
this
anything
week,
you would
they
give
came
to
in
them.
Monday right after school ready to roll.
Don't come in here
They've
too
been
cocky.
focused all week. It's
Don't
been
come in
one of our better
here
weeks of practice.
thinking, hey, we
Elephant
won this
room,
game
we'll
last
get it out of the
year.
way. Of course,
It's
this
going to
is
be
the
a
team
cakewalk.
that came in
Don't
and
come
won
in here
the
like that.
regional
Come in
game
here,
2
take
years
care of
ago. Is
business,
that played in? Is that still
get ready to
something
plan
that's thought about by the team?
your state trip.
I would say
at times. And
game
I think it's
plan,
more
the way they
of,
play consistently
it's
throughout
been a
throughout
motivational
the year.
factor.
Same rules apply.
And not just this
do it
season,
again.
but over the past
do
2
it again.
seasons.
And my advice.
So to me, it's been more motivation.
Kind of along those
than
same
it
lines,
has,
but be
distraction.
ready, as we talked
and
about.
so
Coach Robertson's
because
gonna
it
throw
could be
something
used
at
as a
you you haven't
distraction
seen on
where they go try to be
And
over
probably
the top.
more
and
than
try to,
once.
Yeah, be ready to
it's
adjust
just more
that
of
and
we're not going to
adjust to it as you go and play.
And
your
that's
game.
all you can ask.
Come out here and play your game
See
like
West a couple
records don't
times already
matter.
this season. Do
Records
you
don't
expect anything
exist.
new out of them?
Both
Yeah,
teams
you
are
know, Coach
0-0.
Roberts is a good coach. He does a
This
good
could
job.
be your last game.
And
This
he's
could be
always
your
going to throw
next
something
game.
different at you.
So
You never
win or
know
go
what's where it's
We're
going to
just a
come
few
from.
minutes away from
And
tip-off.
so
We're
you
gonna
know,
take a quick
we
break.
don't we
We're
prepare
gonna
for a
come
lot of
back
stuff
and we're
tonight.
going to take you
And,
all
you
the
know,
way
so
through action.
We'll see
until
where
those
that
nets
comes
come down.
Did you learn anything last year from your state championship run? Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Anything you do differently this year if you head up to the state championship game or the state tournament?
You know, I'll tell you what I told the boys. I'll talk to you tomorrow after the game. But you know, we did learn a lot, and not just for a state tournament run, just in general. You know, that was the first time that this group of boys and us coaches had been on that stage, and so you know, we learned a lot. We were able to bring back not just for games, but for our practices and different things we can do. And you know, I won't say everything we learned, but you know, you're definitely going to learn something from that. And you know, hopefully the boys can take care of business tonight, and you know, we can see what happens from there.
We saw a pretty heavy press against Riverview last week. Can we expect to see the same kind of thing tonight?
You know, we'll see. You know, it's we have 3 different types of presses we run. Some of them look the same depending on who we're playing. But you know, we're going to start off in one of them, and we're going to try to see how that goes and go from there, because you know, everybody knows it's not a secret. You know, it's not something that we're giving up, that we like to speed up the game. And so you know, that'll be our goal, and we have 2 or 3 different ways we're going to try to do that. And you know, so we'll start in one of them, and if it's not working, we can flip-flop to the other one and go from there. But if it's working, you know, if something's working, I come from the old school where if it's working, why would you try to fix it? And so, you know, we're going to start with one, and if it's working, you probably won't see us get out of it for a while.
Speaking of the press, how much do you guys work on that during practice? Because, I mean, like we talked about on the radio or TV, when that ball's in the corner, they're like sharks in the water. Like they're right on it.
You know, last year, we put in the press that we're running now, and we worked on it probably 45 minutes a day. We never ran it, except just here and there. But we didn't need to, because, once again, what we were doing was working.
Yeah.
And this year from the get-go, we decided that we were going to put in a press, and we did. We worked a lot on it, probably 30 minutes a day. About halfway through the season, we were playing Clay Battelle and Tucker up at Tyler Consolidated, and we changed everything on our press that we'd been doing up to that point. And we completely went to a different type of press. Not that it was wasted time, because there's concepts that are good for any type of defense. But and so now we're in more of a man-to-man with help, back trap, whatever you want to call it, you know, defense. And
20 seconds to go before we get the pregame festivities underway. You're going to have the anthem sung. Looks like Emily Bailey's out to sing that tonight. And then we're going to have player introductions, and we'll be ready to go. So we're going to break, not break, but we're going to let you listen into the anthem, and we'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to James Monroe High School. We'll now hear the national anthem by Miss Emily Bailey.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sleep does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now for the starting lineup. First for the Disney Greenbrier West Cavaliers. Number 1, Braden McClung. Number 2, Tanner Hagee. Number 11, Caden Parker. Number 23, Dale Boone. Number 33, Michael Cano. And now the starting lineup for your James Monroe Mavericks. Number 10, Cooper Ridgeway. Number 30, Vaughn Hopkins. Number 0, Josh Burks. Number 23, Colin Fox. And number 12, Eli Allen.
Basketball.
Ball's in the air as Eli Allen got an early start there, so we're going to try again. Ball's up, tip back, going to be all the way into the hands of Coach Miller on the Maverick bench. I think we'll just try this for a third time now. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. So a third attempt, and it's going to be tipped back, controlled by Burks.
I understand that's supposed to be charm.
Burks to Allen. Allen's going to set up the half-court offense at the top of the key. Comes to his right to Fox. Fox back across to Allen. Allen thinks about the swing into the corner. Now comes back to Fox. Fox is going to push up a three off the front of the rim. Can't get it to go. Tipped in the air. It's going to be controlled by Hagee.
It looks like Greenbrier West come out in a 1-3-1 defense there to start the game.
Hagee tries to work over midcourt. Gets it to Parker. Parker to the corner. A 3 up by Boone. He's not able to get that to go. We're going to have a tussle for the ball that goes out, and they'll say to the Mavericks.
Looks like West's going to come out and show a little bit of pressure on the inbound pass.